President Muhammadu Buhari pushes for United Nations Youth Agency for developmental gains, just as experts look at the gains and prospects of the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST, especially in the last 28 years. Plus, update on Edo elections that comes up on Wednesday this week. These and more on today's NTA Panorama. I am Lydia Bassi. Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Anyama says President Muhammadu Buhari is pushing for the establishment of a United Nations agency dedicated entirely to youths. The president believes this will curb youth unemployment, militancy, restiveness, vandalism, and terrorism globally. The minister said this at a wrap-up meeting with the media at the Nigeria's permanent mission in New York. Gabriel Odu reports.
The Nigerian permanent at 44th Street, 2nd Avenue, Manhattan. It is about 10 minutes walk to the United Nations headquarters. The briefing by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Anyama, centered on a wide range of issues which President Muhammadu Buhari brought to the fore.
A UN agency was created for women and gender issues, and the belief of Mr. President is that one is also required for the youth. So the point there is that Mr. President is engaged fully with the national issues that he's confronting: the economy, the security, and governance.
On bilaterals, the minister said the president had meetings with U.S. President Barack Obama, British Prime Minister Theresa May, and a host of other world leaders.
Our president was able to keep the United States, I think, engaged, with the eyes still on Nigeria in the area of security, helping with the, as far as the economy is concerned, encouraging U.S. businesses to come and invest in Nigeria, and of course helping us with our anti-corruption drive. And we're hoping also, at least they've shown an interest in selling us some military hardware, subject, of course, to their congressional approvals.
The minister also shed light on the Sustainable Development Goals for effective domestication after 1 year of its launch. In New York, Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has hailed the ringing global endorsement which President Muhammadu Buhari received from world leaders during his recent trip to the U.S. for the 71st session of the UN General Assembly, and appealed to Nigerians to continue to support the president.
In a statement issued by the Special Assistant to the Minister, Segun Adeyemi, the minister said it was particularly delightful to hear from world leaders that President Buhari's determined and committed leadership, as well as his integrity, have given Nigeria a positive image in the Committee of Nations. He said the global community's appreciation of the giant strides that have been made by President Buhari's administration in fighting terrorism and corruption, as well as in deftly managing the nation's economy at a time of global economic downturn, is an indication that the administration is on course in its quest to ensure a better life for the people. The minister maintained that 3 areas, the economy, security, and the fight against corruption, are the priorities of the Buhari's administration, and its efforts have not gone unnoticed globally, despite the attempts by naysayers to pull the wool over the eyes of Nigerians. World leaders, including U.S. President Barack Obama, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, French President François Hollande, and Switzerland's President Johann Schneider-Ammann all took turns to extol President Buhari's leadership. Lai Mohammed appealed to Nigerians to allow it serve as a source of hope and pride to all who have borne the brunt of the difficulties associated with the current economic downturn, as well as the country's negative global image in the past. While thanking Nigerians for their perseverance, there is no doubt that by continuing to give their unalloyed support to the president, they will be ensuring that these tough times will not last. He said the fact that the president was able to highlight and seek a global rallying point on critical issues during his trip will have a positive effect on the country. For now, Lai Mohammed said, the president sent a clear and direct message to world leaders on such issues as poverty, climate change, terrorism, plight of IDPs arising from Boko Haram activities, diversification of the economy, and the creation of enabling environment for foreign direct investment in Nigeria. The minister described the timing of the president's message and the platform in which he highlighted those issues could not have been more apt, and this will undoubtedly complement the administration's efforts at tackling those key issues. He also expressed the optimism that the country will soon begin to reap the benefits of the U.S.-Africa Business Forum and the meeting with top Nigerian professionals which took place on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly.
Minister of Water Resources Suleiman Adamu says there's no going back on the ministry's commitment to supporting the government's policy. The minister said this in a message to flag off of the second Graduate Youth Empowerment Scheme in Abeokuta, Ogun State Capital. Musbao Dan Wahab reports.
Signed a public-private partnership agreement with Songhai Integrated Farms barely 4 months ago. The goal is being pursued vigorously. The objective is to reposition and strengthen the River Basin Development Authorities, RBDAs, to become major economic nerve centers to support the economic diversification policy of the government. Part of the agreement is to empower about 1,200 graduates across the country through the Graduate Youth Empowerment Scheme. After the inaugural flag-off in Kogi State, Water Resources Ministry continues the series with the flag-off of a second scheme in Ogun State under the Ogun River Basin Development Authority. The selected graduates will be trained in fishery, poultry and crops production.
The beneficiaries will subsequently be empowered through other government intervention programs to establish their own agri-ventures or become trainers in their own right, thereby creating a multiplier effect to further sustain the objectives of the program with the attendant positive impact on the economy through improved food production and employment generation.
According to the ministry, the farm scheme, which will be spread across the country, would help to enhance the capacity of the RBDAs to complement rural infrastructure and advance agricultural support services. In Abuja, Musbao Dan Wahab, NC News.
The Writers' Forum in Abuja has joined the League of other organizations to champion the reawakening of the reading culture among Nigerians. Towards this end, the forum has set aside Saturday of the month to interact with guests, last Saturday of the month, to interact with guest writers and the general public to sustain this reading culture. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu covered one of the writers' sessions.
The guest writers session avails the general public the opportunity to interface with the writers towards attracting more writers, as well as rekindle the spirit of the reading culture among Nigerians. Apart from this, a poet, Basiru Sunday, also thrilled the participants to some poetry on current happenings in the country.
That our refinery's light will shine so bright, oiling the life of a nation's drive. And we go back to innocence, taking our place as Africa's pride, where corruption is given a fatal blow. And the criteria for me being your friend has nothing to do with my tribe.
President Abuja Writers Forum Imam Usman Shehu said they will not relent until the lost glory of reading is rekindled.
Encourage an interaction between writers and the public. People write and their books are published, and most Nigerians don't know that the books are published.
When it comes to the creative arts, when it comes to being an entrepreneur, you really have to work very, very hard to make sure that you're continuing to keep doing your best.
It has really been challenging, especially if you produce a work and you feel you've done your best and then you send it out and it comes back rejected.
Musicians were also on hand to thrill guests. In Abuja, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
For the past 28 years, the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST, has consistently promoted national unity, craftsmanship, talent hunt, and skills acquisition, amongst others. This year, Akwa Ibom State is hosting the 29th edition of the festival in Uyo from 2nd to 9th of October with the theme, Exploring the Gold Mine Inherent, Investment, Diversification Opportunities in Nigeria's Creative Industry. To shed more light on the upcoming event is the Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Mrs. Dayo Keshi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, going by the theme we just read, where lays the gold mine in NAFEST?
You know, as you said in your intro, this is a festival that has been on for 28 years. And in the truth of the matter also is that this is even the 29th edition. And you know, this festival was born out of wanting to create unity in Nigeria after the Civil War. So yes, there is a gold mine now, because we are trying to move the festival away from just strictly adhering to the unification of peoples participating into showing the inherent gold mine that lies within Nigeria's creative industries, especially in festivals.
All right. Now, what's new with NAFEST this year?
Well, this year we are going to focus on the gold mine, you know, as we have in the theme, because essentially we are going to showcase the various states, and they in turn are going to showcase those arts, crafts, and all the various elements that could be turned into financial gains. Okay. And we are focusing on large sales being made in this year's festival of NAFEST, because indeed we do believe that that is where we are at as a nation. So this is the biggest, oldest festival in Nigeria, and we'll be pushing that the marketing is strong in terms of all participants and even those who are just coming in to both enjoy the tourist value that will bring in money, but most importantly for the artists and all those involved to sell their wares. So we are marketing.
Are you expecting foreigners?
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's interesting that in most of our festivals, you do find a number of foreigners, and they come in, they take a lot of, you know, pictures, they interview a number of people, and they use it to sell, you know, both Nigeria and even promote their own understanding of what Nigeria is and, you know, festivals are in Nigeria. Right. And we too, we tend to do the same. We purposefully, you know, send messages far and wide, especially via internet, to all the countries in the world. And really, they log into it, maybe not physically, but maybe through, you know, social media and all that. And yes, we are, as I said, we are from henceforth, we are going to really focus on turning this festival into a big money-making machine. For those who come, the tourists will enjoy Nigeria's cultural heritage, but at the same time, you know, we'll make sure that money is made during the festival. The returns have to come. Yeah.
Why the choice of Akwa Ibom State?
Well, really, you know, NAFEST is a national festival that is actually under the chief executives of culture. So really, it's a participation of all the states. And what happens is that from year to year, there is a bidding for hosting. Because as a hosting state, you stand to gain a lot economically. So we take turns to go around. And at the last CC, the last but one we held in Kaduna, you know, Akwa Ibom came on strong saying they wanted to host this year's NAFEST. And indeed, we are happy we are all moving to Akwa Ibom, because we look forward to the fact that they have some very good infrastructures that will support, you know, the framework of the festival.
Okay. Now, briefly, Festac 77 had a huge impression on the nation's history. Can NAFEST ever match that or come close to Festac 77?
Well, the truth of the matter is that NAFEST has already done that. Because, as I said, immediately after the war, there was a need for us to bring Nigerians together. And they thought then the best way would be through a festival. You see, during a festival, nobody cares what part of Nigeria you are from. What happens is that everybody works together in synergy. And while they are doing that, they are not remembering their differences. Now, Festac did the same thing. What Festac did was to showcase to the world the values in African cultures and, the various aspects of their uniqueness. And that is what Festac gained for this continent, Africa.
And so we hope to gain that with this year's NAFEST.
We already gained that in this year's NAFEST. We'll only push it further.
Okay. Thank you for coming. We wish you a successful festival.
Thank you. And I hope you'll be there.
I'll be there, surely.
Thank you.
Now that we've been talking with the DG, National Council for Arts and Culture, Mrs. Dayo Keshi. Now you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. We now take a break. The news continues.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Thanks for being there. The countdown to Edo governorship race has begun. 19 standard bearers and their deputies from 19 political parties that fielded candidates to control the heart of Edo State will slug it out on Wednesday, 28th of September 2016. Ifeanyi Okafor reports that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it is committed to ensure a conducive exercise.
The inland state of Edo, South Nigeria, is at the center of attention, locally and internationally, as political activities heightened barely 2 days to the governorship election. The Independent National Electoral Commission, having put behind the issues leading to the postponement of the earlier date for the election, says it is now even better positioned to conduct a free, fair and credible exercise.
So we had to do reverse logistics, bring back certain materials, bring back materials from the field to the local government offices, and then other materials like the card reader to the state office to be reconfigured.
Sensitive and non-sensitive materials deployed for the elections have been safely deposited in the 18 local government areas of the state for onward distribution to the wards and voting points across the state. Expectations of registered voters and other observers are for the major contenders to the election to play by the rules and avoid acts that could create political tension amongst the citizenry.
INEC must organize and hold an election where the people will vote and where the vote will count. Where the slogan of one man, one vote, one woman, one vote, one youth, one vote must count.
I want to urge the indigenes of that state to make sure that conducive environment is created. The issue of ballot box snatching, stuffing, thuggery, with the introduction of these our new card readers, have reduced tremendously.
My expectation about the Edo election to be successful and peaceful.
With a population of about 4 million people, Edo State was created in 1991 with its capital in Benin City. The state has a voting population of 1.4 million people. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Okafor, NTA News.
Every 25th of September is World Pharmacists Day. The day is used by members of the Pharmaceutical Federation around the globe to highlight the impact and added value of the pharmacy profession and its role in improving health. In this report, health correspondent Rabi Abdallah takes a look at issues revolving around orthodox and herbal medicines in Nigeria.
Pharmacists are the men and women who supervise the production, preparation and assessment of quality of medicine from pharmaceutical companies. This is in addition to their role of dispensing medications prescribed by physicians. A peep into the country's pharmaceutical subsector reveals a lot of challenges.
The issue of plague, even the antimicrobial resistance, some of the industries, when you go to their warehouses where they used to have a lot of raw materials, it's so pathetic. That's an insight. So many of them, they have applied to many banks to source products for the raw materials, but they cannot get it.
Nigeria is one country in the world that is richly blessed with arable lands where numerous medicinal species of plants grow.
We are not tapping into the immense natural resources as to nutraceutical, herbal, alternative medicine that we have locally, especially those ones that have gone through due process.
The political will has to be put in place. Formulated policy that will aid the market. We also need to improve our interaction with the pharmaceutical industries for us to know what are the needs.
If we can be supported, the whole West African coast, even Africa, Nigeria will be a hub as far as pharmaceutical sector is concerned.
Security of medicines entails that people at all times have access to sufficient, safe and affordable medicine for their health needs. In Abuja, Rabi Abdallah, NTA News.
Now sports. National Youth Games kicks off in Ilorin, Kwara State with skating and rowing as exhibition events as Bundesliga defending champions continue on the path of winning. Amanzi Marcus reports.
The second edition of the National Youth Games opened Saturday at the University of Ilorin Sports Arena with more than 2,000 athletes from more than 20 states and the FCT participating. Minister of Youth and Sports Development Solomon Dalung